Who is responsible for subscription retention within your business? I'm Robert Skrob, and this is the show that helps your membership or subscription business to be unleavable. Where should the responsibility for subscription revenue growth be assigned within your company? Is it a marketing function because they're in charge of acquisition and communications? Is retention and growth a product function because they are responsible for the product that the subscriber receives? Or is it a customer service function because they're the ones interacting with subscribers? Hey, post your thoughts in the chat below. I'd love to know what you think. Where should the responsibility for subscriber retention and growth be assigned within a subscription business? I work with hundreds of subscription businesses each year. Few have a person responsible for subscription growth and retention. It's almost always easy to identify the person responsible for new subscriber acquisition. That person and their team is tracking marketing spend, lead flow, and the number of new subscribers that they're generating. When there is somebody responsible for retention and subscription growth, that person rarely has the authority necessary to actually accomplish the function that they've been assigned. Tasking your marketing team with subscription growth makes sense, but does your marketing team influence the customer service experience that your subscribers have or the product decisions? I've seen product teams bristle when a CMO offers product suggestions based on their marketing research, and customer service always feels closer to what they believe their members need than their perception of the marketing team's knowledge. Customer service is in your front lines with your customers, handling inquiries. Plus, this is often the team that receives those incoming calls from subscribers wishing to cancel their subscription. Charging somebody within customer service with retention may make a lot of sense. But do they have the authority over the marketing promises that are made within your subscriber acquisition process or the product that's being delivered to your subscribers? Nope. So even though they own the interactions with subscribers, they can't influence the expectations subscribers have when they purchased a product, nor can they directly impact the subscriber experience when they're using your product. Both, of course, have a huge impact on retention rates. Your product team has a lot of influence over retention. After all, they're in charge of what you deliver to your subscribers, of that quick win, of that onboarding experience. But within the marketing, you're making a lot of promises to your prospective subscribers, and the product team can't communicate with subscribers when they have problems. That's all done by the customer service team. Subscriber experience from marketing to product to customer service each have a huge impact on retention rates. However, there's rarely a person who has authority over these functions, at least in for-profit companies. Now, nonprofit membership organizations have long had a history of having an individual with the authority and responsibility for membership growth. Who has the authority and responsibility for recurring revenue growth within your subscription business? Does that person have the necessary experience, authority, and reporting KPIs to deliver on that responsibility? In this episode, I'm going to reveal who should be responsible for retention and the metrics they should track and the authority they must have to drive your recurring revenue growth. Before we dive in, press the like button and also subscribe to this channel to make sure that you're the first to know about future episodes. I recently worked with a retention team at a public company to create a new subscriber experience to fix a subscription retention problem that's been stalling their growth. The stock price is down by 70%, so everyone on the team was committed to turning this around. This team that I worked with was within the product function of the business. We worked for 2 months to develop and launch a new subscriber onboarding and create a new weekly subscriber newsletter that all builds in the value of their subscription to generate upsell opportunities and improve retention rates. Initial testing was all positive. But when the communication crossed the desk of the CMO, that person couldn't resist the urge to rewrite it all. The justification was, this just isn't consistent with our brand voice that we developed. That same brand voice was leading to disappointing subscriber acquisition and retention levels. And even though that person was engaged in the initial meetings and brought into the project, they actually got busy during the implementation and testing phase, and so they weren't part of that creative process. Not surprisingly, the company's recent quarterly earnings announcement reported lower retention rates. What's worse is 5 of the people on the team that I worked with that did terrific work for their company have now left for other jobs. Now, it's worked out for me because 3 of them have reached out to engage me to implement a similar project at their new employer. But it's disastrous when those who are responsible for subscriber retention can be vetoed by someone else with some other goals. While many smaller subscription businesses are driven by the CEO, over $10 million of recurring revenue, there's usually a team with each member owning a functional area. But subscription growth requires a member experience focus by all members of the team. There must be a person in charge who has authority over the necessary functions to grow recurring revenue. Subscription is a simple, number-driven formula. Let me remove the mystery so that you can identify and equip the person responsible with growing subscription revenue within your business. As reported by Adweek in 2021, several forward-thinking subscription businesses have already created a cross-functional Chief Subscription Officer position to lead recurring revenue. One key example is Dow Jones & Company, owner of the Wall Street Journal. Companies with long-standing understanding of the importance of giving somebody the authority and responsibility for subscriber experience are creating the Chief Subscription Officer position within their organization. The Chief Subscription Officer job description breaks down into 5 key areas. Number 1, skills. 2, experience. 3, responsibility. 4, authority. And number 5, KPIs. Each of these is usually an hour within the workshops that I lead for my clients. But for this video, let's review the Chief Subscription Officer job description briefly here together. First, skills. Number 1, marketing strategy to lead an acquisitions team. 2, communications to lead the product team and how they present the product to subscribers and onboarding. Number 3, copywriting to oversee the quality of the scripts and interactions from the customer support team with subscribers, current, prospective, and past. Now, second, the experience necessary for this position. Chief Subscription Officers come from a variety of backgrounds, often from the marketing function. That way they can bring that copywriting experience. One secret, nonprofit membership organizations have a membership director who can bring a tremendous amount of experience to for-profit subscription companies. It's kind of been a little secret that I've worked with a lot of for-profit companies is go hire a nonprofit membership director in to bring this position. They bring a lot of experience. That brings us to authority. As far as it applies to subscriptions within your company, your Chief Subscription Officer must have authority over these 3 business functions. Number 1, marketing. You want somebody responsible for growth. They've got to be able to manage the advertising, offer, and conversion metrics for subscribers. They got to track the promises made, the conversion techniques, and the ad targeting. They each have a huge impact on retention. Your Chief Subscription Officer must have authority over all of these. Number 2, product. What you deliver your subscribers will have an impact on whether your subscribers choose to retain their subscription. Your Chief Subscription Officer must have authority over the subscriber experience as well as all of your onboarding communication. And number 3, subscriber support. Every member interaction is a retention opportunity. Your Chief Subscription Officer must have the authority over how your support team onboards new subscribers and scripting these interactions. You must have a functional leader for hiring, training, and supervision of the team, but the CSO is responsible for leading the actual communications. Without authority over these 3 functions, there's no way for your Chief Subscription Officer to ensure subscribers experience success or get their quick win necessary for long-term retention. Finally, KPIs. Almost everyone in the subscription business looks at the wrong numbers. Forget about churn rates, LTV, and all the rest. Last month's or last quarter's churn rate doesn't give you a view of what's happening now or into the future. This is the number one metric to watch to drive subscription growth. Year over year, projected 12-month recurring revenue growth. Let me repeat this. Your subscription leader's number one dashboard metric should be a 12-month cash flow revenue stream. And based on that forecast, where your revenue growth will be 12 months from now. And then second, there is the cash flow 36 months from now. Yes, 36 months has a lot of assumptions, but it's long enough to reveal the gaps that may not be apparent when you're looking at just churn rates, ARPU, LTV, and other metrics as standalone numbers. This forecast should be calculated using your cohort analysis averages, especially for the first 30, 60, and 90 days of your memberships. Most people make the mistake of using your average churn rate to calculate these cash flow forecasts, and that gives you a very skewed perspective of your customer acquisition cost, payback period, and really even all the other numbers as well. These 30, 60, 90-day retention rates give you a much faster feedback on the impact that you're making on retention rates and the impact that those rates have on your subscription revenue growth and cash flow. All right, there's a lot here. But what goes into your Chief Subscription Officer position, driving subscription recurring revenue growth, is crucial so that you have the right person for that job. They've got the experience, responsibility, and authority necessary in order to do that job. That's what it takes to be unleavable. Let's summarize what we've covered today. Few subscription businesses have an executive with responsibility and authority over the functional areas driving recurring revenue growth. Some of the most forward-thinking subscription businesses are now naming this role Chief Subscription Officer. Here are the elements necessary for the Chief Subscription Officer position. First, skills, a customer-centric focus with an understanding of your member and how to choreograph a subscriber experience that grows retention. Second, experience, proven background of engaging members of a community through media. Third, responsibility, own subscriber acquisition, retention, and recurring revenue growth. That brings us to authority. Functions of marketing, product, and subscriber support report to the Chief Subscription Officer as far as the subscription revenue is concerned. And finally, KPIs. Year-over-year forecasted revenue forecast growth monitored to track how this month's acquisition and retention rates project out over the next 12 and 36 months. This way you can better appreciate the huge impact that subtle changes can have on your subscription growth rates. Now, if you've enjoyed and benefited from the concepts that I've shared in this episode, then I'm confident that you will love this resource. After more than 25 years of working with subscription and membership businesses, I've identified all of the key factors that are seen in the most successful subscription businesses. If you'd like to know what they are, you can either buy the book on Amazon or instantly download a digital copy for free at subscriptionsmadeeasy.com. After you receive the book, there's an opportunity to have me walk you through the details and get your questions answered. You'll probably want that too, but there's no obligation. What do you think? Tell me where I'm wrong. Who should own the subscription growth function within a subscription business? What questions does the Chief Subscription Officer position bring up for you? Post your thoughts in the comments below. I always love to hear from you. Even those of you who insist on emailing me rather than posting your comments below this video. Either way, I always love to hear from you. Also, remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and that way you'll be the first to know when new episodes are available. And finally, check out this video breaking down a subscription business with the Be Unleavable scorecard with recommendations on what you should include within your own subscription retention systems. Enjoy that episode, and I'll see you next time on Be Unleavable.